Welcome back to another exciting episode of Ask Jason Lee. You already know you got the questions and I got the answers. But before we get into all that, I got to tell you about my new partners, Yappa. They have this exciting app that I told you about in the previous episode where you can now, unlike everywhere else, leave a video comment at the bottom of all the posts on my website, HollywoodUnlocked.com. And I have the choice and chance to be able to respond directly to you in video. Then we're going to close the gap on our world and we're going to launch Socialite Sound Off across all of our social platforms where we take your videos from Yappa and put them on our Hollywood Unlocked Instagram. So before you get in all these questions, start thinking about how daring of a question that you're going to ask me. But until then, let's go. First question, Jerry_BX-163. Who was the first person to believe in you and give you your big chance? Well, that's a two-part answer. The first person to believe in me was me. I believed in my self. Because I had gone through all the waves of making mistakes and learning things that were wrong about my business model and what I was trying to do. And, it was me who believed in me first. As far as who gave me the first big chance, I'll credit two people. I'll credit Mona Scott Young for giving me the opportunity to share my company and my vision with the whole world. I give Mona that credit because that's how I launched Hollywood Unlocked, as most of you know that have been following me. Then I will credit Khalees because Khalees really was the first really big story that I did that went international. And Khalees is somebody who had a relationship with Nas and never spoke about their personal relationship publicly, and the abuse that she endured while she was married, and the fact that she came and gave me that look was a good look. And that came out of having a relationship. And I'm very grateful to her for that. And so when people talk about all the other big stories that we broke in, and the big one that we broke last year, they forget that Khalees really was our first really big, huge story. I mean, we did have Matt Barnes on the show, the second and third episode, tell us about the fight with Derek Fisher, which was the first time he had ever talked about. So that was big too, but Khalees was a colossal story for hip hop and for the culture. And it was picked up in Vanity Fair and Vogue. I'm in Vogue with a GED. Can't beat that. The next question comes from @Carlita_cosmetics_. What inspires you to continue to push through? I ain't gonna lie. There are days, and almost every single day, where I'm over it, where I just don't want to keep going, where a deal is taking too long, or a partner relationship is taking too long, or people aren't cooperating with us the way that we want them to. And I kind of feel like, life would be much easier if I just found me a really good job that paid me $5,000 to $10,000 a week, every other week, or if I took some of my money and invested it in property and just blew up in the real estate game and just walked away from it all. Then there's times where I'll get an offer. Somebody say, hey, we'll give you $5 million or $10 million for Hollywood Unlocked. And I go, ooh, I must be onto something, because if they're sniffing around now with those kind of numbers, who's telling what it's gonna look like in about 4 more years, right? So I think there's always times that I wanna quit, but it aren't the times that you're probably thinking. Like when people attack me online, that doesn't make me wanna quit. That just makes me wanna go harder. I think the things that make me a little discouraged at times is just I'm very impatient. And I know that this experience has taught me patience because the process forces you to be patient. Like nothing happens overnight, and what does happen overnight typically doesn't last. So I will say that I've learned a lot of patience. I think the other thing that helps me push through is all of you. Like you showing up matters. You showing up and commenting matters. You going to our website matters. You watching the show and sharing it on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook matters. I see it all. Those of you who are journalists who pick up our shows and share them on your platforms matters. And the artists who come on our show and feel safe enough and comfortable enough to come and have hard conversations that you, the fans, want to hear. It makes me motivated that we're doing something right. And so although I do want to quit, probably want to quit right now, I'm not going to. Not until I'm completely over the work that I have to do here at Hollywood Unlocked. Next question comes from @Queen_Rudy. Have you had any backlash about your book? Ironically, I haven't heard anything negative about it. There were a couple people that went on Amazon and one person actually in particular gave it a 1-star rating and said that the story was just too unbelievable, that they didn't believe that one person could go through all that. And I kind of took that as a positive because that person believed that my story, that was a real story, was so unbelievable. I'm also amazed what I've been able to fight through. So I haven't heard anything negative. My family's embraced it. My friends have embraced it. My supporters online, all of you have embraced it. You know, and if you think about it, if every single one of you go and buy a copy or two right now, it just continues to prove that what I did was necessary and that we're all capable. You know, this book and the sales and the success of this book is not just about me getting my story out, but it's also about proving the odds, right? That you can beat all odds put against you if you have hard work and determination. So yeah, I haven't heard anything negative, and my truth is my truth. And if it hurts somebody, I can't apologize for that because this is my truth. All right, next question comes from Life of Adrian. How was going on tour with your book changed your life? I think meeting people and hearing their stories directly, hearing the impact of Hollywood Unlocked or one of my interviews, hearing people who've read my book and who are impacted by my stories, being able to see the light in people's eyes who have had experiences similar to mine and finding that my light could be their light has been really impactful on a personal level. I always kind of joke on the show, but real people used to always try to book me to go to different cities, and I used to be terrified thinking I was getting set up, so I didn't go nowhere. So I didn't meet a lot of people early on in my public career. But now, having gone out and done the tour, meeting with people, sharing my story, talking to just hundreds and hundreds of people in different cities and thousands of people across the country, now I want to get out and do more. So we're now talking about live touring for the show, for our podcast. We're talking about more book events across the country. I'm building out my public speaking platform. We're building out a book club for the book online. But more importantly, you know, I want to get out to the people more. So if you know promoters in your area, hit me up. The next question is from Miss Lauren Lowe. How do you handle the industry people who gave you issues or were shady during your come up, who have crossed paths with you now? Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. All of them watch these shows on edge because they never know like when I'm gonna just drop their name. And recently I was on the Breakfast Club and I said this.
If it was a photo of a person hanging out with somebody close to me who had really betrayed me last year and I let it go, I'm not going to vilify and destroy this person because it's that energy that I'm trying to get away from.
Now, the individual who I was referring to in there knows who I was talking about. And they knew I was talking about them. And they're watching this right now and they know. And they're living on eggshells waiting for me to say their name. And I'm not going to say their name yet. But what I would tell you is that it is very interesting how people in the industry could literally f you over and then walk up to you in your face and talk to you. It's the craziest thing. Or call you for a favor. Or send you a gift and think that it makes the betrayal okay. What I have learned is that I really have to stay focused on who I am and what I do. I am Hollywood Unlocked. We do the business of telling people's business. We are not in the business of being everybody's friends. Now, when you know me personally, I am a friendly person when it comes to meeting people and getting to know people and hanging with people. And if I believe there's a way that we can leverage something off one another, I'm gonna with you. But what I've learned in Hollywood is that that isn't always real. And so we've had a lot of real conversations recently with people who have been very uncomfortable with because we have to tell them like, hey, you know, we're not doing favors for you. We're not your PR family. We're not here to represent your best interests. We are here to tell stories, right? And you can either help us tell the stories or you can not help us, but either way, we're gonna tell the story. I think the people that didn't believe in me early on, they have to now see us everywhere. I'll tell you quickly, I ran into Queen Latifah at All-Star and she said, yo, you're everywhere. I mean, you're on MTV, VH1, Instagram, YouTube, the website. I mean, you're everywhere. And that really has been the goal of just continuing to make the people who didn't believe in me or who were shady early on to see me everywhere they go, every room they step into, like our award show, every room they go to, they have to understand that we're gonna be there. And it feels really good. I don't feel a vendetta against a lot of the people. I do have a vendetta against a couple. I'm human. You know, I've been able to suppress that for this long. I don't know how much longer, but whatever. Until then, you won't know, but one day you probably will. Because my next book is gonna be a lot more edgy about the industry. As for now, who cares? I got too much work to do. I'm overwhelmed. I got things to do on my schedule. I got meetings next week. I got meetings next week that are gonna change everything. So I ain't worried about those people. Carry on. All right, next question is from Kimalaya. Tell us some of your regrets in life. I've talked about this before. I don't really live with regrets. I honestly have lived a fairly decent life. I've done everything I've wanted to do this far. Everything that I've been allowed to do, I've enjoyed. Every experience, good and bad, has shaped me into who I am. And I don't regret anything. Like, do you know how much energy it takes into sitting around saying, man, I wish something that I can't change would have never happened? Like, you can't change it. No matter how much you wish it didn't happen, it happened. So, yeah, I don't have any regrets. Like, who has time for that? My next question is from Neff Glowed Up. Who is your celebrity crush? I don't have a celebrity crush. I'm still stuck at the Instagram thought level. So once I can get work through that, it's so many Instagram thoughts now. And why does everybody have an OnlyFans account? I mean, damn, I get it. Somebody posted their books the other day. They made $125,000 from OnlyFans account. Now, there just ain't that much masturbation in the world. Like, I don't get it. But I'm stuck at the Instagram thought level. I haven't found me a celebrity that does anything for me right now. I mean, I was attracted to Kane Brown. Then I met his girlfriend. I wasn't going to mess up that happy home. Then I was attracted to Mahomes. Then I met his girl. No, just not going to break up that happy home. And there just isn't anybody else right now, you know. But, I mean, I'm looking. Although I would never date another celebrity, I'm looking. All right, what another great episode of Ask Jason Lee. You had questions. I hope I had the answers, but if I didn't, you can go over to the website right now, HollywoodUnlocked.com, find this post, go down to the bottom and click Yappa and leave a video or an audio answer to the stuff that I said here, or leave a question that you'd like me to answer on our next episode. I'm no longer going to Instagram or Facebook to get your questions. I got to get them on the Yappa post on each of these posts. So leave your questions, and guess what? I might just have an answer.